Due to public health issues arising from the coronavirus situation, the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders will conduct this meeting remotely via a conference call. Callers are invited to listen and will have an opportunity to make comments by calling 973-310-7191. This is the Freeholder meeting of December 22nd, 2020 at 9 a.m., regular business via conference call. And I'd like to say that this is the last meeting of the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, because beginning January, we will be called the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners. So we're making history, another first. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Terry, could I please have a roll call?
Freeholder Fantasia.
Here.
Freeholder Fasano.
Here.
Freeholder Hertzberg.
Here.
Freeholder Director Patillo.
Here.
Freeholder Yardley.
Here.
Would you please stand with me for a moment of silence and a salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're at number 4, the public statement. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice as defined by Section 3D of Chapter 231, PL 1975, has been made by regular mail and email. Such notice being submitted on January 2nd, 2020 from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey, to the following: New Jersey Herald, New Jersey Sunday Herald, Star Ledger, WSUS Radio, WNNJ Radio, and is also published on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for Public Announcements and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act. Okay, we are at number 5, the approval of the agenda. I need a motion to amend the agenda to move the personnel agenda until after the executive session. Could someone please make that motion?
It's Herb. I'll make that motion.
Okay, second?
I will second.
Thank you, Dawn. Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. Now I need a motion to approve the agenda as amended. Can I have someone for that motion?
So moved.
Okay,
Second, Fantasia.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. We can move on to number 6, and we have proclamations. And Deputy Director Dawn Fantasia is going to read the first proclamation honoring the 100th anniversary of the Sussex County Firemen's Association. Go ahead, Dawn.
Thank you. At a meeting of the Hamburg Fire Department in 1919, the organization of the County Firemen's Association was conceived, and in the spring of 1920, a meeting was held in Newton, and the Sussex County Firemen's Association was formed. At the time, there were 6 fire departments present. The first election of officers was held. The following individuals held those positions 100 years ago. The president was Rutherford T. Layton from Franklin. Secretary Vivian O. Walters from Franklin. Treasurer Perry L. Moyse from Franklin. And the fire marshal was Rutherford T. Layton from Franklin. And those charter departments were the Franklin Fire Department, Hamburg, Sussex, Newton, Ogdensburg, and Branchville. And 100 years later, I'd like to share with you the names of the officers in 2020. The president is Michael Donahue from Stanhope Hose Company No. 1. The vice president is Steve Kusevec from Hopatcong Fire Department. The secretary is Cheryl Raperto from Sanderston Township Volunteer Fire Department. And the treasurer is T. Donald Drake from Stanhope Hose Company No. 1. So I would like to read the resolution now, or the proclamation rather. Whereas the year 2020 marks the 40th anniversary of the Sussex... Oh, that is not correct. I apologize. Isn't technology wonderful? Just bear with me. Okay. Whereas in 1919, at a meeting of the Hamburg Fire Department, the organization of the County Firemen's Association was conceived, and Department Secretary Vivian O. Walter wrote to other municipal fire departments to participate in a meeting to discuss the formation of the Sussex County Firemen's Association. And whereas in the spring of 1920, at a meeting held in Newton, representatives from Franklin, Hamburg, Sussex, Newton, Ogdensburg, and Branchville fire departments attended. And from this meeting, the Sussex County Firemen's Association was formed and officers were elected. And whereas on October 2nd, 1920, the first Sussex County Firemen's Parade was held in the borough of Hamburg. And whereas since 1920, the association's other endeavors and initiatives include the annual memorable services that honor the lives of the deceased firefighters in the county, the creation of the Sussex County Fire Prevention Association, and the Sussex County Fire Academy. And whereas, upon the occasion of marking and celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Sussex County Firemen's Association and its legion of dedicated volunteers, both past and present, are honored for demonstrating an exemplary esprit de corps while maintaining a steadfast commitment to preserving and protecting lives and property. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders do hereby congratulate the Sussex County Firemen's Association upon its centennial, pays tribute to its meritorious record of excellence, and extends sincere best wishes for its continued success for all its future in the years to come. By order of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, Sylvia Patillo, Freeholder Director, Don Fantasia, Freeholder Deputy Director, and Freeholders Anthony Fasano, Joshua Hertzberg, and Herb Yardley.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone on the Freeholder Board that would like to comment on this proclamation?
Yes, it's Herb. I would like to comment. I'd like to review some of the skills that firemen, and this, I know we're honoring the parade, but I want to honor all of the make a comment about all of the things that the fire departments throughout the county do, and some of the things they do. People don't realize. And so some of the skill sets that are in a fire department, and many times they're called upon to do. For example, a plumber, electrician, carpenter, they have to be social worker, sometimes a psychologist, sometimes a maid, sometimes a mechanic, sometimes a teacher, a cook, a chef, a dishwasher, painter, social worker, helper, delivering, for example, delivering sandwiches out and food into the community. Sometimes they have to be waiter and waitresses. They have to know how to do fundraising for the departments. They have to know how to fix things, heating and ventilation, public educators, and fire inspectors and medical professionals and deal with hazardous materials. And yes, on occasion, they do put out fires. I just want to say this is a wonderful organization, and I'm glad we're honoring the 100 years of service of the parade. But without the dedication of all of those fire departments and men and women that serve in those departments, I think our county is very fortunate to have all of these members. And I wanted to say congratulations to the organization as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other freeholder that would like to speak on this proclamation?
Yes, Sylvia, Josh Hertzberg here. I'd just like to say, very well said, Herb. If you talk to people around, not only the state but the country, you'll see that volunteer fire departments are almost becoming a thing of the past. They just aren't getting the volunteers that they used to. And that's not the case in our county. We have an abundance of people volunteering their time to risk their lives to help others. And, that is no small thing. And it's something that I think, like a lot of other things, go unnoticed until you need them. And I just want to, for one, thank all of them, thank all the departments, all the townships that support them, and this organization that helps keep it all together. So especially right now, thank you guys for volunteering your time, risking your lives for the safety of all of us in the county. That's all I have, Sylvia.
Thank you, Josh. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on this proclamation? Okay,
Sylvia, I know I read the resolution, but I would just like to, just like to say, I've seen firsthand in my hometown, Franklin has a very, very active fire department, and it's run very well. The ladies and gentlemen who are involved donate so much of their time, so much of their energy, so much of their effort, and it's really just, it's the crowning jewel of our town. So I see that replicated across the county, and I know that, in small ways, we have to do our part to encourage continued volunteerism of that group. I know in Franklin we never had LoSAP, and we did institute LoSAP, and we couldn't, afford a lot. Franklin is not a particularly wealthy town, but I'm proud that the voters overwhelmingly passed it when I was still on that board. And I just, urge everyone around the county to take a look at their volunteer services and see what we can possibly do. Anyone who's in an elected seat to possibly aid these volunteer organizations in any possible way that we can. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to say a few words as well. And I'd like to congratulate the Sussex County Firemen's Association on their 100th anniversary. And truthfully, I don't know what we would do if we did not have the brave volunteers that give a lifetime of service to our fire departments in Sussex County. There's a quote that I love from an unknown author that says, "All men are created equal, and then some become firefighters." And how true that statement is. Most people don't desire to serve the public to make personal sacrifices for others or be on call 24/7. When the average person returns home from work, they leave their job at the office. After 6 p.m., their lives are their own. But that is not the case for people who choose to be firefighters, because being a firefighter isn't really something you just do. It is someone you become. And when you get to know the men and women who serve in our volunteer fire departments, very quickly you realize that they are very special, extraordinary people. The Sussex County Firemen's Association carries on the traditions every single year, and they take pride in everything they do. And tonight we want them to know that we take pride in them. So God bless all of our first responders, and once again, congratulations to this wonderful association. Cheryl, would you like to say something?
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for your kind words. They're very overwhelming. I've been at this job I think I'm going into my 28th year. It's a wonderful organization. It makes me prouder than anything in my life doing this job and being a member of the Volunteer Fire Service. And I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Firemen's Association to thank you all for acknowledging our 100th year. It was devastating to most of us that we were unable to have our parade in Hamburg this year. Almost 2 years of effort went into planning for the day, and because of this rotten COVID, it just got wiped out from and under our feet. But we carry on. We haven't had a meeting in person. We've only had one since February. But we're still doing our thing, and we will continue to do our thing as long as we're supported by our communities. And, we look forward to the future. And again, thank you all so much.
Thank you very much for being on the phone call. And once again, please give our thanks and gratitude to everyone in your organization. I know when I was mayor, we actually had we hosted the Firemen's Parade and a pack-on. And I'll tell you, you're right, it took over a year of planning to pull that together. And there's a lot of traditions involved in that, the chief's dinner and other things, getting all those trophies. I mean, it was a tremendous amount of work to pull that together. But it is such a marvelous day, and I too missed it this year. It's something I always look forward to. It's just a wonderful tribute to all of the men and women and just the pride of our county. So once again, thank you so much.
Thank you again.
Okay, take care.
You too.
At this time, I'd like to read the second proclamation, which is a celebration of the 40th anniversary of the Sussex County Chamber of Commerce. And we have on the line the president of the Sussex County Chamber of Commerce, Tammy Horsfield. Whereas the year 2020 marks the 40th anniversary of the Sussex County Chamber of Commerce, and where the Chamber formed in 1980 and was then known as the Tourism Association and eventually grew and branched out into the organization it is today. And whereas 30 of the 40 years the Chamber has been guided under the leadership of Chamber President Tammy Horsfield. And whereas the Sussex County Chamber of Commerce has more than 600 members and is a nonprofit organization that represents and promotes the business community within Sussex County, providing networking, educational, and promotional opportunities throughout the year. And whereas the Sussex County Skyline region is New Jersey's four-season playground, the Chamber promotes the county as a four-season escape where outdoor thrills, family fun, and relaxing resort experiences await to relax and unwind. And whereas the Chamber serves as liaison between the business community, other local community groups, and various governmental agencies in hopes of enhancing the quality of service that their business provides the patrons that they serve. And whereas the Chamber also collaborates with the Sussex County Economic Development Partnership, Inc., whose mission is dedicated to the creation of sustainable economic opportunity and prosperity to improve the quality of life in Sussex County. And whereas since March 2020, when the novel coronavirus pandemic surged on our national and global communities, the Chamber has continued to support businesses impacted by the virus, providing weekly updates, business-friendly search maps for residents and visitors, and frequent communication with local, county, and federal representatives. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders hereby extend our heartfelt appreciation and gratitude to the Sussex County Chamber of Commerce for their many years of continued service to both the business community and residents of Sussex County. And be it further resolved that the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders hereby extend our best wishes to the Sussex County Chamber of Commerce for continued success in all their future endeavors. By order of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, Freeholder Director Sylvia Patillo, Freeholder Deputy Director Dawn Fantasia, and Freeholders Anthony Fasano, Josh Hertzberg, and Herb Yardley. I would just like to say a few words about Tammy. I've known you for a long time, and I have watched you over the years consistently find new ways to support our businesses or host new programs that you put in place, and always successful events. And during the pandemic, I can't even explain, you just switched gears very, very quickly, and all of a sudden, you became the outlet for all of this information. I mean, you even put your phone number, your personal phone number out there so that businesses could call you 7 days a week so you could explain the grants, help them fill out the applications, and enable them to receive the federal money that they so needed. And then you organized that Save Affairs conference, which we mentioned in that proclamation. But people don't realize you were able to get your federal representatives, your state representatives, county representatives, the hospital, our health department, all together on one conference call so that the business community could have all of their questions answered and get the latest up-to-date information that was so vital to them. And you're always out doing all kinds of activities for different organizations. And I do want to mention that on Saturday, you were the Master of Ceremonies for the 40th anniversary gala for the Karen Ann Quinlan Hospice. And you did a phenomenal job and a wonderful tribute to Julia Saturday night. It was just a beautiful, beautiful tribute to her, the family, and the staff over at the hospice. And you did a wonderful job. I am always just amazed at what you can accomplish and how much you accomplish and how you never seem to get tired. So, Tammy, I want to congratulate you on your 40th anniversary of the Chamber, and I want to thank you personally for all that you have done to move our businesses through and to give them the compassionate, heartfelt connection to someone that really was able to help them and enable them to get the information and all the grant money that they needed to sustain their business. Is there any other freeholder that would like to speak on this proclamation?
Yes. Go ahead, Dawn. I'll go after you.
Okay. I will just keep mine short and sweet, working, and seeing Tammy's unbelievable leadership through these circumstances has just been amazing to me. It's a daunting task of what she does. Communication is just excellent coming out of the Chamber. Makes me think of that that quote, "The same boiling water that softens a potato hardens the egg." So it's not necessarily about the circumstances, it's what you're made of. And I think in any circumstances, Tammy is not soft. She's tough as nails, and she advocates for our businesses. And I can't imagine anyone else at the helm of that. So thank you for all the work that you do.
Okay, Josh?
Yes, thank you, Sylvia. This is my last freeholder meeting, and as such, it's my last. Well, I will no longer be on the board of the EDP. Something that I think most people in the county don't know exists, and don't know all the work that gets done on that board in the background. And Tammy wears a lot of hats when it comes to serving the business community of our county, but there's times where she's wearing all three. And so many things that I've seen from behind the scenes that get done, she's the one putting the people together, making the introductions. So much goes on that people just have no idea. And, like you said, Sylvia, when this all happened, switching gears, it was like she jumped into a whole new sports car. It was unbelievable the amount of work and communication and collaboration that went in to try and help our local businesses stay afloat, and the tools. And one of the things that she collaborated with on the county was that database to help businesses and help people find each other so that they could stay operating. And having seen it firsthand, Tammy, I just want to thank you for your unbelievable work ethic and dedication to the businesses in Sussex County. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd also like to say that Tammy not only helped the businesses that were members, but she helped businesses that were non-members as well. Is there any other freeholder that would like to speak on this proclamation?
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead, Anthony.
Thank you, Herb, and I'll echo what everybody else has said, but Tammy, I just wanted to thank you personally for going above and beyond. Certainly, I know you've been doing this for a long time, but my involvement with you over the last year has been amazing to witness. And Sussex County is truly blessed to have a Chamber of Commerce and to have you doing the work that you're doing throughout normal years, and especially throughout a global pandemic year, and being a true resource for our business community. I just can't thank you enough. Congratulations on 40 years, and here's to 40 more. Absolutely.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Yeah, let me just say a few words. It's Herb. I just want to say, Tammy, the Chamber, you and the Chamber have done a wonderful job communicating thoughts, ideas, and helping to promote businesses in Sussex County. Always looking for a way to make sure the message is out there for our businesses, making sure that they are get good communications on, and as a matter of fact, as a member, I see those communications going out to all of those businesses as to federal funding, making them aware of opportunities. I think at the county, we are very grateful for the Chamber and the work you do as the director of the Chamber. You've do research to make sure that the county Chamber is on top of things and the most earliest information you can get. And you actually are a driving force for the Chamber. And having worked with the Chamber years ago, we had a relationship there. You're a tough person, I want to tell you, and tough in a good way. I think you expect the best out of all the people you work with. You expect the best out of the Chamber meetings that you have, and it is reflected by how many people just come out to the breakfast that you have, your Chamber breakfast. And I want to say congratulations once again. And I don't want to repeat what everyone else has said, but congratulations for 40 years, and thank you for the work you're doing and the work that Chamber is doing on behalf of the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Herb. Tammy, would you like to say something?
Wow, I think for the first time in my life, I'm speechless.
There you go. That's a first, right? No, in all seriousness, I'm humbled by your kind words. And, it's been great to be able to have such a wonderful relationship with all of you as a Freeholder board. And, we've really worked together. And you, the Freeholders, have done an outstanding job through this pandemic as well. And it's it takes a team and it takes a family. And in Sussex County, we're fortunate. We're a really close-knit community. We work together and we make things happen. And we've been known around the state a lot of times as being the first to do a lot of things. And I think it's because our community is so close-knit and we do work together. So I'm humbled by all your kind words. But I do have to say also for the Chamber that it's certainly been an honor for me to be able to serve as their president and CEO for the last 30 years. When I came on board 30 years ago, I never quite thought that I would stay in this job as long as I did. But I've certainly enjoyed every moment of it, and I've had the pleasure of watching our business community grow and flourish throughout the years. I'm praying that we will get back to growing again in the near future and that our businesses will flourish and have a wonderful 2021. That's truly what's in my heart for all of them. You all, sure you know that I have a passion for what I do. I love working with people. I love to help people. And I really have worked hard with my staff. I've got a wonderful staff. And the team is what makes it happen. Couldn't do what we did in the Chamber without that great team. And they've been there to support the information, get it out to everyone. And we've tried to do our best to help as many people as possible throughout this county. We continue to do so. I'm still getting calls for people who are having problems getting through agencies like unemployment and family leave and those who really are looking for funding right now. So great news is that the House passed the relief bill that will allow us to have a second round of PPP, and we'll be looking for that application shortly with information so that people are ready here in Sussex County once again to apply. And I'm hoping that'll give a little shot in the arm to move forward for the next quarter, and hopefully then everything opens up and we begin to see the light for a clear future. So with that, again, thank you all so very much for your kind words. I appreciate your working with the Chamber through our years of service, and I look forward to working at least another 40 years in the organization, although I don't know if I'll quite make it to that. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. All right, we're going to move on to number 7, which is our public hearings. Is our bond attorney, John Cantalupo, with us?
Yes, I am on Freeholder Director. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks, Don, for joining us. I'm just going to read the opening part, and then would you please give us just explain it once more before I open it up to the public?
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. This is final adoption of Ordinance 20-07. At our regular meeting held on December 9th, 2020, we introduced for first reading the following resolution, which was advertised in the New Jersey Herald issue of December 10th, 2020. Together with the notice of public hearing stating it would be held at this meeting at 9 a.m. Guarantee ordinance amending a guarantee ordinance heretofore finally adopted by the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey on August 17, 2011, to provide for the issuance of refunding bonds and the security associated therewith in order to achieve debt service savings and taxpayer relief on Morris County Improvement Authority, County of Sussex Guaranteed Renewable Energy Program Lease Revenue Bonds, County of Sussex program. Before I open it up to the public, John Cantalupo, would you please just give us an explanation?
Yes, ma'am. How are you today? Freeholders, how is everybody doing?
Everybody's fine.
All right, that's great. As we talked about at your last meeting, this opportunity came forth whereby you guys could save the taxpayers in Sussex County a little over $300,000 each year. The state standard to do a refunding on your outstanding 2011 refunding bonds that were issued through the Morris County Improvement Authority, the state standard is 3%. This opportunity presents a 10% savings, which is well in excess of of the state standard that's required in order to go forward. Again, you're roughly at about $330,000 savings a year, or $2.3 million overall throughout the life, which ends on 2027. This is due to the historically low interest rate environment, and your finance team, which is headed by your county treasurer and CFO, Elka Yetter, looked at this opportunity and will bring it forward. The reason why we had to do an amendment to the guarantee ordinance was that it did not permit a refinancing, just like when you refinance your home. This is a very similar thing, and since interest rates are low, it's a good opportunity for the Freeholder Board, and this would be your final adoption of that ordinance, so we could go forward with achieving those debt service savings for the county.
Thank you very much, John. Appreciate all that you have done to help us get through this.
Thank you, Field Director.
Could I have a motion from the board, please, to open for a public hearing?
Fantasia, so moved.
Is there a second, please?
Second, Hertzberg.
Thank you. Okay, we are now open to the public. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak on this ordinance? Please just state your name and your municipality, and just go right ahead and speak out.
Director, before we open that, can you just take a voice vote real quick?
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Didn't realize I didn't do that.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the public that's on this phone call that would like to speak on this ordinance? Please just say your name and municipality.
That's Harvey Rosette from Byron Township.
Okay. Is there anyone else? Okay. Terry, you want to call Harvey? Harvey, go ahead. You can speak.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd like to just make a couple of comments, and maybe you can also fill me in with a little bit of background. There's nothing really new or unique about refinancing the solar program debt. The ability to do so is written right into the original bonding. If you look at the bond statement, you'll find it. And the financial forecasting for the 2015 bailout modeled the very refinancing of these bonds. While the freeholders are considering doing this, and I would agree to do so, I'm also a bit confused and curious about what the current operating status is for the program and what the debt restructuring will be, because this resolution does not really define that. You are being asked to guarantee a bonding relationship and structure that we all know has outlived its purpose. We all know this because it's built and the bonds pay high interest. While we know the current bonding arrangements are $11 million for 6 more years, this resolution reads to me as a blank check of up to $50 million for possibly longer duration. That's what it states, and that was what was stated back in 2011. Instead, I really feel the resolution should be stark and to the point. After all, project's completed, and we already know the bonds that are remaining are $11 million for 6 more years. So I have a couple of questions here. I guess the first thing is, we're saying we're going to refinance these bonds, or our portion of the bonds, $11 million, which was originally going to be for 6 more years. Are we still doing $11 million, and is it going to be limited to 6 more years?
Freeholder Director, do you want me to handle that? This is John Cantalupo or Elka or Greg?
Please.
Okay, yeah. So there is going to be no extension of the original bonds. They'll be paid off in the exact same time, which is required under state law before we achieve that. The bonds will be issued. The sizing will be picked out on the day of pricing. But currently, right now, that amount is $10,525,000 that they have that the underwriters have given us, and it saves evenly, just like you would on a mortgage, pretty much throughout, like roughly evenly about $330,000 a year. of savings. It fluctuates between 330, 328, 329. So it's the average roughly is around 330.
So in terms of bonding, we are sticking to what's already been issued. We're not going to refund and exceed and go up to the $50 million guarantee that this particular resolution is permitting.
Correct. This is only a refunding of the existing guarantee. You are correct. The prospectus for the bonds had allowed for a call for a redemption at a later date, but the guarantee ordinance was unclear, and we wanted to this is just a clarification within the ordinance. It will not exceed the $50 million, and it's just sticking to a straight refinancing for debt service savings.
But I am also correct, am I not, that this permits going up to $50 million. I mean, if you look at sections 2 and 3, it doesn't match up with what you just said. It is asking the freeholders to guarantee the original program and allowing this to go up to $50 million.
No, we are not going to be doing that. We just kept the original ordinance and the par amount in place. And just allowed for the refinancing. There is no current program other than the refinancing that's going to move forward, and you would have to have additional freeholder consent to do anything further in terms of another program. This is just strictly for the refinancing.
But I don't believe that's what you wrote in sections 2 and 3. I'm going to leave it at that. But if you read sections 2 and 3, you're approving the original program. The original program goes to $50 million. And while you say that it may come back to the freeholders in the future, what the actual wording of this resolution states is going up to $50 million. I mean, again, I'm just saying the wording could have been very direct, very clear, and instead it's referring to an old program that has very wide latitude for bond issuing. And I really personally don't feel that this should have been written in this way. But, I'm not here to debate that particular issue. I do have a couple other questions. One is, in the year of COVID, how has this program's revenues fared? What kind of revenue are we getting from the schools compared to last year, and how is it impacting the revenue that comes from SRECs?
Is Elka on the line to answer?
Elka, that would be, for Elka.
Yes, I'm on the line. I'd have to pull up the numbers, but I believe there was a little bit of PPA revenue that was slightly down from the year before, just to the fact that the schools don't have the use, but the SREC revenue and the PPA revenue are pretty steady.
So the schools are using, just as schools and municipalities, even though we've been working remotely, have still got similar electricity usage and generating similar amounts of SRECs?
Like I said, I don't have the numbers right in front of me to answer the question. You're kind of putting me right on the spot, but if you give me a moment, can you look that up?
Harvey, why don't you give me your questions, send them to me by email, and I'll have a written response, because they may not have the information available right now to answer it during this meeting.
Yeah, I mean, we're again, to tie this into the previous conversation, my concerns are that should there be additional losses, and these will not be paid through an extension of debt, whether it's through an increase in the amount of debt or by a longer duration. So that's where I was coming from after hearing what might have changed in revenue. year.
Okay, but just send me any questions that you have so that I can make sure they have the opportunity to review information and give you the proper answer. They don't want to just start giving numbers or giving you information they haven't had time to review.
No, I agree. Thank you very much. Just two other thoughts. One is at year 2027, I think some of your PPA contracts start rolling off. So if you go beyond that, I just want to point out that I believe I'm paying for my home a lower electricity rate than you're billing the different solar electricity users. So unless that changes, if anybody's thinking of extending this program, you may have to start lowering what you're charging for electricity, unless market conditions change. So keep that in mind. And other than that, I would say this particular bond refinancing, this was the time. If you read the bond statement, this was the time when the county was allowed to do it. So it's nothing new. It would have been standard practice, and it's very nice that market interest rates have come down, which makes it good for us. But again, this is nobody did any special work here. It's
okay.
Normal program.
Thank you very much for your comments. And as I said, if you have any other questions, just send them to me. I'll make sure you get the proper answers. Thank you, Harvey. Is there anyone else in the public that's on this phone that would like to speak on this ordinance? All right, not hearing any, can I please have a motion from the board to close the public hearing?
I'll make the motion, Herb Yardley.
Thank you. Is there a second, please?
Fantasia, second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, now I need a motion that this ordinance be finally adopted and authorize the clerk to advertise this resolution as finally adopted and also post same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center. Can I please have a roll call, Terry? Or could I have a motion first? I need the motion.
Sylvia, I have a question.
Okay.
Would you just repeat three things? One, the year extension, how long are the bonds, the interest rate, and the savings. Just clarify those three things.
Okay, the bonds will be paid off by 2027, which they're not being extended beyond their original maturity. Let me get the net interest rate for you guys. Hold on. The net interest is 1.22%. Your savings on a cash basis are $2.3 million, roughly $330,000 a year. And the state average, the state does not allow you to do a savings, a refunding until you hit 3%. You're at 10%, and we were given this opportunity. You have to wait. It can't be done from the origin since 2011. It's driven by a financial model that when things are refundable at 3%, then you can achieve the debt service savings and go forward with it legally. So it wouldn't be something that would be available on day one. You have to wait till you get closer to the call date, and the call date is I'll give you that as well. I'm sorry to kind of ramble on here, but is June 15th, 2021.
Okay.
So
thank you.
As you get closer, that's when you can refund it.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions from the board while John's on the phone?
I'd like to move the motion, Sylvia.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a second?
Fantasia, second.
Terry, have a roll call, please.
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley?
Yes.
Okay, John and Elka, thank you so much for being on the phone call this morning and handling all of our questions. Really appreciate all your help in this.
Thank you, Director, and Merry Christmas to everybody in Sussex County, and Happy Holidays.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Yes. Number 8, we're a public session from the floor. Could I have a motion to open the floor for public comment?
I make the motion, Herb.
Okay, second. Is there a second, please?
Second, Hertzberg.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, at this time, the floor is open for any public comment on the agenda only. If you have a question that is not about the agenda, we have a second comment period at the end of the meeting. So if anyone in the public is on this phone call and they want to talk about the agenda, would you please just state your name and your municipality? We'll make a roster and then we'll call you in order. So is there anyone that would like to speak on the agenda? Okay, not hearing any, could I please have a motion to close the floor to the public?
Fantasia, so moved.
Thank you. A second?
Second, Hertzberg.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. We're at number 9, which is freeholder comments, and I'm going to begin with freeholder Anthony Pisano, please.
Thank you, Director Patillo, and thanks to all who are joining us this morning. It's the end of the year. We have a large agenda this morning, so I will keep my comments brief. And I first just wanted to acknowledge and thank all of our county employees who played a part in cleaning up after last week's storm, after last week's big snowstorm. I know our county employees work every day to keep us safe and moving. Last week was just another example of that, and it is truly appreciated. The fight against COVID-19 continues in Sussex County, and I wanted to remind our residents that if you or someone you know have questions about COVID-19 or are seeking guidance, I encourage you to call the Sussex County COVID-19 hotline, which is open Monday to Friday, 9 to 4, where you can speak to a Division of Health staff member or a Sussex County Medical Reserve Corps volunteer to get your questions answered. That number is 973-579-9488. And you can always visit the county COVID-19 webpage for the latest updates and reports, which is simply sussex.nj.us/COVID-19. The county is developing a comprehensive testing strategy, which will include at-home testing options, which we have already seen good progress with here in Sussex County, fixed site testing options, and walk-up testing options. Item 13S on our agenda enters Sussex County into an agreement with Dufall Health Clinic for COVID-19 testing sites at the Sussex County Fairgrounds and 2 additional locations in Newton and in Sparta. At-home testing is already available in Sussex County, and you can go right on the county website to request one and learn more. That is thanks to an important collaboration between Sussex County and LabCorp, which has enabled us to have a good foundation when it comes to at-home testing. Item 13T on our agenda finalizes an agreement with Vault Medical Services to provide additional at-home testing capabilities for Sussex County residents. Given our geography, at-home testing is one really important tool for us in the months ahead. And another is getting this information out. So I do want to mention that our COVID-19 webpage has a link titled Testing Site Map, which directs you to put in your location so you can see what testing sites are around you, and that does update frequently. I also wanted to mention that Sussex County has formed an important countywide testing task force consisting of members representing county government, the County Links Agency, our health department, the Newton Medical Center, the Dufall Health Center, our Office of Emergency Management, the State Department of Health, community organizations, faith-based organizations, to really help us with next steps in terms of our testing component. I think we have all seen good signs last week and this week of what is coming, and that's a vaccine. And we have seen the first of the vaccine in New Jersey, and we anticipate the first of those doses going to hospitals and long-term care facilities. Sussex County is working with the New Jersey Department of Health in developing a COVID-19 vaccination program. And just a few weeks ago, the Sussex County Division of Health received approval of its CDC COVID-19 vaccination program provider agreement. And that's important because it identifies that Sussex County's vaccination program will be set up as a public health clinic very similar to the county's flu clinics, and it will be known as a point of dispensing site or a pod. The location of this site has not yet been determined, and our objectives with this plan is to provide fair access to all who live, work, and are educated in Sussex County, and, assuming its effectiveness and availability, being able to achieve community protection and sustainable trust. This is a big collaborative effort between many levels of federal, state, and local government, but it's also a big step toward defeating this virus and getting back to normal. So we're in the process of preparing for that and going through all of that, and more information and updates will be posted on the county's website as it becomes available. And very quickly, also on our agenda tonight is item 13R, which endorses the Lackawanna Cutoff Historical Committee's efforts to restore the Greendale train station into a museum. The Lackawanna Cutoff Historical Committee was formed in 2013 in order to preserve the Greendale train station in Greene Township. The Historical Committee is a 501c3 nonprofit organization who plans to fully restore the train station and turn it into a museum housing local township, county, and railroad artifacts. And I want to thank Keith Smolin, the president of the Lackawanna Cutoff Historical Committee, for all of his work on this. We're absolutely looking forward to visiting the Greendale train station very soon, and we're very excited about your efforts. And finally, very quickly, as it is the final meeting of the year, I did just want to take a moment to thank and congratulate my colleague and my friend, Josh Hertzberg, for all of his work in making Sussex County a better and more affordable county. I've learned a ton from Josh. His care and commitment has been inspiring since the get-go, and I'm going to miss working with him very much. But I know he will go on to do amazing work for Sparta Township. I'm excited to see that. So congratulations and best wishes to you, Josh. Thank you, Sylvia, and that concludes my report this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Freeholder Josh Hertzberg, please.
Thank you, Sylvia, and thank you very much, Anthony. I genuinely appreciate your kind words. And, last meeting, I, talked a lot about, what I've done in the county and the work that we've all done together. And I said I was going to save my comments for my colleagues for this meeting, my last meeting, because I think that's the most important thing that drives the county is having great leadership. And I can't tell you guys all how much I appreciate the teamwork that I've seen together, what we've done. All of us, all the freeholders bring a different skill set and a different passion to the board, but together we've been a very effective team. And that's why you have a board, right? Everybody comes from different backgrounds, brings something different. When I first started with the county, I knew very little about county government and how it worked. And, the one thing I relied on was Herb's knowledge of the county and its employees. It was invaluable for me as a new freeholder coming in. I'm proud of the work we did together on behalf of the employees of the county. I hope we helped mend some of the relationships and created a path forward for our county's valued employees. So thank you, Herb. Sylvia, you have a genuine heart of gold, and I think that helped make us a more caring and understanding board. Your willingness and your desire to champion those who need our help the most has been something I've admired and I've learned from. I tend to look at the big picture, and having someone like you point out the little things and paying attention to the details that help the people that need it most was great for me to learn and see. So thank you, Sylvia.
Thank you, Josh.
Anthony, coming in to a board like this is not always easy, but you've been such a big part of being our eloquent voice of reason in the room, never backing down from a fight you believe in, but always finding the perfect way to explain a situation of importance. I can't overstate the importance of being able to properly explain some of the complex issues that we often deal with, but you always find a way to break it down and explain it in the right way. I appreciate your calming influence on our board and, the work you do just, calling around, communicating with all the freeholders. I think you are going to accomplish great things. and I look forward to watching and hopefully being part of it. So thank you, Anthony, for everything, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, Josh.
Dawn, I still remember when we first met and talked about, running together and bouncing ideas back and forth with each other, and how great, I felt about it, knowing that we had the same mindset and some of the same focuses, and very different approaches, which I think, made us a good team. We ran with an intent to try and bring a culture change to the Freeholder Board, a culture of fiscal responsibility, accountability, and an attitude of rolling our sleeves up and getting the actual work done, regardless of who got the credit, because the county deserved it. When I was the blunt force instrument, you were the refined tool, making sure the details were right. When I was busy looking at the big picture, you were processing the data, putting it into graphs, and making sure we didn't leave anything out. Your work keeping everyone informed during this pandemic has been more than exceptional and invaluable. You can always tell what kind of elected official someone will make by who they truly are in their real life. You are a fighter, a fierce protector, and a loyal friend. The combination I'll take representing me and my family's best interest any day. Thank you, Dawn, for being a partner, a friend, and a colleague. And again, I look forward to seeing what you do in the future. And I'm so thankful that you guys are our Freeholder Board. I didn't know a lot about what the job entailed before I got involved in running and started paying attention. And from a township perspective, seeing the influence that a Freeholder Board can have on the residents of the county and the townships of the county. But I know from Sparta's perspective, we pay almost as much in taxes to the county that we do to the township. And that's why it is so important to have people that treat your money like it's their money and actually care about how it's spent and where it's spent. And you guys, I feel comfortable leaving knowing that you guys are steering the ship. And I appreciate all the work you guys do. Having now had a front row seat to what goes on in Trenton, I can't say enough about the complete train wreck it is, but it also has allowed me to see how the hard work of our District 24 legislators, that they can continue to fight for us in spite of that. Senator Oroho, Assemblyman Worse, and Assemblyman Space continue to fight an uphill battle in Trenton for us. We are lucky to have them serving, and I will continue to support those guys in any way I can, because, when you're a freeholder, you get to see some of the little things that go on up there that you don't generally see, and it's a hard fight they have, and they continue to do it for us, and I appreciate the good working relationship that we have with them. Sometimes the work we do, at least what the public sees, is the politically charged topics, instead of the real work, instead of the hard work and the stuff that's done for the everyday county. When we oppose things like Second Amendment restrictions coming out of Trenton, it's not because we're delusional and think we have the authority over it. It's because the majority of the people who elected us want their voices heard. They want Trenton to know how they feel, how we feel. We are their voices in Trenton sometimes, and it's 100% part of what we are here to do, to speak for them and to make their voices heard. That doesn't mean any of the other duties or work are any less important. I've spent the vast majority of my time working on the details of our county operation, our management structure, employee retention. One of the things people probably don't generally realize or understand is that when you do not do the right thing by your employees and you are constantly working on hiring, training, that you are paying so much more money and outsourcing that work and trying to bring new people in, that you are costing the taxpayers money. Doing some of the reforms that we've done, paying attention to the details, making it a place that people want to work, paying them the money they deserve, has saved the county money. The financial reform that we have done as a board is paying dividends. It paid dividends in just the first year that I was on the board, and I've seen it now a second year. I know that they've been working hard on the budget, and that we're going to see even a jump forward in that. That is hard work. That is good policy. That is conservative leadership, and it's good employees doing their job to the best of their ability. and I'm really, really proud of the work that's getting done in the county. You have an outstanding, now me too, because I will no longer be a freeholder, but we have an outstanding freeholder board who genuinely cares about our county and its residents. They pay attention to the details while still planning for our future. I can't thank you guys enough for the time and effort you put in this job. It's a lot of times a thankless job. Half the time you guys are being attacked by everyone, depending on which side of the aisle. It doesn't matter, because you can't make everybody happy, but you guys show up every day and still do the job and do it right. So thank you guys so much for being great colleagues, great friends, and I look forward to being there in your corner in any way I can. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, Josh. Freeholder Herb Yardley, please.
Thank you, Sylvia. I had to check the phone for a moment to see if I had the mute on. I just wanted to, couple things. There was a coalition meeting, for the Center for Prevention and Counseling, and they're celebrating 20 years this year, and they had meet the founders of the coalition, and I was fortunate to be on that call or in that meeting, and it was very interesting, the history, and a lot of the past members were there, and congratulations to the Center for Prevention. And an update on some services out to our veterans and other families in the county. Through Diane Freeberg and Senior Services, was a donation of 2,000 boxes of food, or 2 trucks, 48 pallets of food to be distributed to veterans and families in need, provided by a group called American Patriots Writers, and they were able to come up and provide the service, and the food is in Newton, and people should contact Senior Services or Diane Freeberg in that department. And it's about 30 pounds of food, and it has things like milk, cheese, yogurt, carrots, apples, onions, potatoes, sour cream, hot dogs, vacuum sealed, uncooked chicken. So we continue to see the need in the county, and we're fortunate that we have members and people that want to donate those services. That's my message. Thank you, Sylvia.
Thank you very much. Deputy Director Dawn Fantasia, please.
Thank you. I was going to save my comments for Freeholder Hertzberg till the end, but after that I don't think I can. I think I'm going to start out with that. I've given up my hope of keeping it together during this, so I'll just start. I just wanted to say how proud I am of you, Josh. Your values, your intelligence, your fire. I mean, you are a good man, and these are huge shoes to fill now on this board. I think one of the things I most admire about you is it's got to be your negotiation skills. They're just second to none. And as you said, we came into a climate that might not have been the most healthy for some, high tension, and you never wavered. You never wavered once. You were steadfast. You have very limited patience for noise, background noise. And like you said, you really were the hammer, and the rest of us chiseled. And somehow we got across the finish line with things that had been lingering for quite a long period of time. There were proposed revisions to the county's financial plan, with a board prior to us with a plan that would take 50 years to get the county out of debt. And you've shown a light on just the inauthenticity of that piece and what those plans were. As far as getting specific contracts across the finish line, when we ran together, you and I, we made a promise. Our promise wasn't everybody gets what they want. Our promise was everybody gets respected and listened to. And you made sure that we kept to that promise. And you're a prime example of that. It's amazing how much work can get done if you don't care who gets the credit. And you do so much work that isn't all celebrations. You shy away from the public eye quite frequently. So for you, I always think great thoughts like great deeds need no trumpet. You're the yin to my yang up here. And you're loyal. You're a loyal friend. So thank you again. And this board is going to sorely miss you. So I'm going to move on with the rest of my report. I'll start out with the county COVID information. I do have a question for Freeholder Fasano based upon his report. Anthony, do you know, are there plans in place for vaccination of our high-risk EMT volunteers? I was contacted by a Wantage resident that was asking in the plan, and I know you may not know the answer now, but if you could follow up on that, that would be great, because we do have some volunteer EMTs that are high risk, and they're asking if they would be prioritized for vaccine.
I don't have that offhand, but I will follow up on that. I know Greg is on the call. Greg, do you have anything to add to that?
Anthony, I have Carol over here.
Okay, I'll defer to Carol. Otherwise, what I would say is that we will look at this and we'll follow up.
Okay. Thank you. That's fine. I wanted to make sure that was given. Okay, so as far as COVID in the county, as you know, we have an estimated population of around 140,000. To date, 82,949 county residents have received and reported a test for COVID-19. So that's just under 60% of residents in Sussex County have been tested for COVID. Of those, 4,482 tests have been reported as positive. That gives us a positivity rate of 5.45%. Of those positive cases, as of yesterday, last night, we had 3,135 classified as recovered. So our recovery rate is currently 70%, but in actuality it is higher because we have 1,140 cases currently under investigation. So 25% of our cases still are under investigation just due to the sheer volume alone of individuals testing positive. I want to share with you the death rates. There have been 207 deaths in the county. That's a death rate of 4.6%. I'm going to get into that a little deeper here, and it involves our long-term care facilities. We had 588 positive cases. So 13% of the county's positive cases are from nursing homes. Now 116 fatalities, or 56% of the county fatalities, are from nursing homes. So 20% of individuals contracting COVID in a long-term care facility or nursing home in the county have died as a result. The remainder of the population, 2.8% of those who have contracted COVID outside of a long-term care facility in the county have passed, and that is unrelated to nursing homes. Current deaths for this month, we have 3 reported deaths classified as confirmed, and we have 3 reported deaths classified as probable in the month of December. So we have a total of 6. In the month of November, we had a total of 3 classified as probable. Now, for some hospitalization data, to date, we had 66 reported hospitalizations of Sussex County residents due to COVID. Newton Medical Center is reporting 56 of those 66, and the additional hospitalizations as per the state CDRSS report, we have 7 in Morristown Medical Center, 2 Jersey Shore University Medical Center, and 1 in Hackettstown Medical Center. Just as a comparison, last month there were 31 hospitalizations of Sussex County residents in the month of November. Okay. Let me take a look here. Presently, we're reporting increased numbers of positive cases in the 19 to 49 age range. And again, multiple cases are family spreads is what is happening currently at the moment. So I included something new this week. Again, we get a lot of questions. Either they come through us through our email or through social media. So this week in the report, I did include not only the Northwest region activity level for COVID, but also the current Northwest region activity level for influenza. And if you go on to some of the different groups and on social media, you will be able to see links to that report that will be able to take you through respiratory illness statistics across the county. As Freeholder Fasano did share, our at-home COVID testing kits are still available through Pixel. And if you go on the county website, please access the county test site map and the New Jersey test site finder. If you are a veteran, testing is available at the Sussex VA Medical Clinic at 228 High Street in Newton. There is an appointment required, however, so please call ahead for that information. I have an update from the county library. They're planning a New Year's Eve celebration. Children of all ages are invited to join in as they count down to 12 noon, not midnight, on New Year's Eve. They're having a dance party on Zoom, and they're celebrating the end of 2020. You can register by December 26th, and they will help you arrange a grab-and-go for party supplies like balloons and bubble wrap. So if you want to swing by the library, you can grab and go for your home dance party, and you'll get an email reminder on the event day with Zoom meeting details. So please visit the county library website if you would like to celebrate with the county library and your children. There's a program I want to bring to your attention, Hunters Helping the Hungry. It's a 501c3 nonprofit that work with regional food banks, which enable hunters to donate venison while addressing the overpopulation of deer in New Jersey. So what happens with this is there are local butchers who volunteer, and they donate their deer to the butchers, and who in turn provide them to Norwest Gap Food Bank in Phillipsburg and a few other food banks as well. And after processing, probably 400 charities are recipients of this venison, including America's Second Harvest Food Banks statewide. So to give you an idea of the volume of this, last season 737 deer were donated to the program. That yielded over 25,000 pounds of venison. So since 1997, hunters have donated more than 255 tons of venison to food banks, providing more than 2 million meals. And due to a federal grant, the hunter fee is waived except for small deer. So if you have a deer over 50 pounds, it is free to the hunter. So you can visit their website, and there are a variety of participating butchers, and I think that's just an excellent program, and I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention. Also to thank the OEM on an absolute excellent job on communicating during the storm. This was one that hit us with some winds and obviously precipitation, and we did not experience widespread power outages, very, very sporadic, and most towns did not have any loss of power in the county. So that was wonderful based upon the frigid temperatures and based upon the COVID and distancing would have made this quite a challenge. So we're thankful for that, and thank you to our road crews who just did a fantastic job cleaning a very large amount of snow. I also would like to congratulate the Sussex County Mayor of the Year. The Chamber of Commerce, as Tammy was just on here, Sussex County Economic Development Partnership, she's the president of that as well. She stated, your efforts have not gone unnoticed. You've made a tremendous difference in your community. Thank you to you for your hard work, dedication, and compassion for the toughest times. And this year, the recipient of Mayor of the Year were all the mayors in Sussex County. I feel it's very fitting during the pandemic. Every person in an elected position never saw this coming, and every leader in their respective councils or committees definitely had to spring into action, and I think it was so appropriate. So I just would like to read the list of mayors here and recognize them for their service during this time. Andover Borough, John Morgan. Andover Township, Michael Lensack. Branchville Borough, Anthony Fredo Sr. Byram Township, Alexander Rubenstein. Frankfurt Township, Christopher Carney. Franklin Borough, John Sowden. Frieden Township, John Flora. Green Township, Peg Phillips. Hamburg Borough, Paul Marino. Hampton Township, Philip Yetter. Hardiston Township, Stanley Kula. Hopatcong Borough, Michael Francis. Lafayette Township, Alan Henderson. Montague Township, Richard Inella. Town of Newton, Sandra Lee Diglio. Borough of Ogdensburg, George Hutnick. Sandyston Township, George Harper Jr. Sparta Township, Gerard Murphy. Stanhope Borough, Patricia Zodhaki. Stillwater Township, Lisa Chammings. Sussex Borough, Edward Meyer. Vernon Township, Howard Burrell. Walpack Township, Victor Maglio. Wantage Township, John Morris. So again, the mayors, they participate in the county mayor briefings as well. Through COVID, there's been excellent communication between the county, our county health department, and with our local municipalities. That's something that I'm very proud of, is that steady line of communication between the county and our agencies and the towns based specifically on the pandemic. So again, congratulations to all those ladies and gentlemen. And last but not least, I would just like to wish all of you a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday, Happy New Year, and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sylvia, it's Herb. If I could just have a moment, there's something I wanted to say. I was going to save this to the end. I just wanted to say, Josh, you will be missed. It was a pleasure working with you over your 3 years on the board. And you have the ability to take some issues and calm them down. And I want to say that I appreciate that. I'm not a man of many words, but you've actually helped me improve the work I do at the county, and I appreciate that. I enjoyed working with you. I'm glad that we were able to work out a financial plan that we are able to live with and will bring stability to the county long term. And there's not much more I can say. I think the board members have said most of what I would like to say in a way that at times I cannot express it. But I want to let you know that you will be missed by me and the board, and it is a loss to the county with you going to Sparta, and it's Sparta's gain. And thank you for the time that you have given the county and the time we spent together. So thank you. And thank you, Sylvia, for letting me express that.
Absolutely. Is there anyone else that'd like to say anything before I give my comments? Okay, not hearing any. I, too, am going to begin with just recognizing Freeholder Josh Hertzberg, who will be leaving our board to take a position on the council in his own hometown, Sparta. And Josh, it has been an honor and a delight to serve with you for the past 2 years. And as much as I understand why you are leaving this board, I want you to know that I will definitely miss you. You are a wise and intelligent board member who has the best intentions towards the public in every decision that you make. You also have the most important attributes that are necessary to be successful in public service today. And they are conservative values with a common sense approach. You get things done, and you do it in a manner that everyone can be inspired and respect you for it. You just have a way of working with people that is truly a gift. It has been a pleasure to serve with you, and I'm very happy that I had the opportunity to get to know you personally. I wish you much success as you head back to your hometown in Sparta, and I want Sparta to know that they are very fortunate to have you back as their representative. So I wish you the best in everything and every endeavor that you do, Josh. You were just an absolutely wonderful person, and I consider you a friend, and I will miss you very, very much. So thank you.
Sylvia, I just want to, thank you guys. It always means so much more, and it's always so humbling when people that you genuinely respect recognize your work and say the unbelievably kind things that you guys have said about me. It's truly humbling, simply for the fact that I have so much respect for you guys as colleagues and as friends, and it has been a real honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'd like to begin by thanking our county engineer, Bill Copenall, John Basilwich, who is the head of our fleet, and Scott House, who is the head of public works, and all of our DPW staff for bringing us through a very long and a very difficult snowstorm. And as always, I received numerous calls complimenting our drivers and thanking them for clearing the roads. Everyone understood that the whiteouts that were going on that night and the weather conditions were fierce. And they did an amazing job, and as they always do. They are the best, and I just want them to know that we recognize and acknowledge their skill and their dedication, and we're very grateful for them. I also want to congratulate the mayors of the year. I think the mayors in Sussex County shared in that honor, and it was a well-deserved honor for all of them, trying to work so hard to adapt to all the new normals and all of the different guidelines and regulations that they had to follow to bring their personal community through. And they did a great job, each and every one of them, and I'm just so proud of all of them. I would also like to recognize our retirees this year. We actually have 27 employees that are going to be retiring, and if you put their total number of years together, it comes to 554 years of service. 8 employees have had a career with the county for 30 years or more, and I would just like to mention their names as well to acknowledge them. We have Morgan Lugener from Facilities, 17 years. Candy Ledoux at the jail for 32 years. Annie Lai, Social Services for 14 years. Tony Masker, Bridge and Traffic for 33 years. Christine Davey, Health Department for 12 years. Louis Ortiz, Transit for 14 years. Carl Sylvester from Facilities for 19 years. Rick Grossman from Engineering, 26 years. Patricia Stager, Facilities, 30 years. Carolyn Mang from the Library, 13 years. Maureen Slack from Health, 32 years. Maria Zangara, Transit for 13 years. Marge McCabe, Elections, 14 years. Jim McDonald from Health, 30 years. John Senkowitz, Rose, 38 years. Denise Webb from Health is 38 years. Adam Bolts from Health, 32 years. And then we have the jail. Captain Will Puentes, 25 years. Eric Olson, 24 years. Mark Vogel, 22 years. Sandra Godlewski, Social Services, she's 21 years. Marty Baldwin, Public Health Nursing, 12 years. Gary Flora, Library, 13 years. I want to wish all of them a wonderful, healthy, enjoyable, restful retirement, and just know that we appreciate all your years of service to the county and to our residents. So thank you very much. And I think that's it. So I'd just like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a very, very healthy New Year. So we're going to move on to the approval of the consent agenda. And let me just read my statement. The Board of Chosen Freeholders of County of Sussex has reviewed the consent agenda consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. If any freeholder would like to remove an item to be considered separately, please do so now. Is there any freeholder that would like to remove anything from resolutions on the consent agenda from A to L? Okay, not hearing any, can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda from A to L?
Fantasia, so moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Hertzberg, second.
Okay, can I have a roll call, please? Terry?
Sorry. Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley?
Yes.
Okay, let me just check something before I go on. Just give me a moment. Okay, we're on appointments and resignations, number 12, from A to double A.
Excuse me, Director.
I'm sorry. Let me start with the approval of minutes, number 11. Regular meeting, December 9th, 2020, and executive session meeting, December 9th, 2020. Could I please have a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting and the executive session?
Fantasia, so moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Hertzberg.
Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, thank you very much. Now I can go on to 12. Okay, and 12 are appointments and resignations from A to double A. Let me look at this. Could I have a motion to adopt appointments from A to double A, please?
Fantasia, so moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Hertzberg.
Is there any discussion? Not hearing any. Terry, could you give us a roll call vote, please?
Freeholder Fantasia,
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano,
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo,
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Okay, next, number 13, we have a resolution from A to T. Could I please have a motion to adopt resolutions A through T?
Fantasia, so moved.
Is there a second, please?
Second, Hertzberg.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, I'd like number, an explanation on that service. I see an addition of a new firm, which has not shown up. Can I get a counselor to explain what this is?
You're talking about a professional services agreement with Dolan & Dolan?
That's correct.
Kevin, could you please explain that?
Sure. This is,
Can he speak up? I can't hear him.
Yes, that's talking to their phone. Hold on a minute. Let me move the phone.
the person, the attorney, Ann Gaquin, who was doing this legal work for us, changed law firms from Bill Hinks's firm to Dolan & Dolan. Bill is retiring at the end of this month, and the adjuster has requested that Ann continue working as she's been doing, and since she's in another firm, we had to do this agreement with them.
So my question would be, is if she were to move to another firm, does the contract stay with Dolan & Dolan, or does the contract move with this individual?
Well, I think it's with her. So, and as long as the adjuster, Herb, I just wanted to say, as long as the adjuster is satisfied and has requested her to continue on, that was fine with me.
Yeah, I looked at the agreement. I didn't understand the scope of work because I didn't see that there. Maybe I misread it. Is there a document showing the scope of work on this resolution?
I think so. I think the scope is, in general, legal services to the adjuster, which consists primarily of going to those hearings.
What hearings? I don't know if the board is familiar with this, but it's a good educational opportunity for the board. Would you explain those hearings and what they are?
Herb, let me, you know what, I'll put something out about it. I really, it's a very technical process, and I'm not sure what is privileged and what isn't. So I will respond to that in writing.
Okay, I would appreciate that, and possibly, some of these services are complicated, and I do happen to somewhat, I think, some of these, but in the future, I would like to have a clarification on the services, so that I can properly vote on the resolution. So that in the future, I would like to have that ahead of time, and I'm going to understand that this is a request from that department and that for continued services. And I can appreciate him wanting to stay with someone, but I just would like clarification in the future, better clarification in the future.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, if I could state, though, Herb, I think that's an excellent idea to do the blanket clarifications for everything. I mean, I've reached out specifically to Greg or Terry or to Kevin if I had specific questions about any service or any individual, but it does make more sense to have it a common practice instead of individually reaching out per service.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm satisfied. Thank you very much.
Okay, is there anyone else that would like to speak on any of these resolutions? All right, could I have a motion to adopt resolutions A through T?
Fantasia, so moved.
I'll second it.
Second, please.
Herb Yardley, second.
Okay, thank you. Cherry, could you give us a roll call vote?
Yes. Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We're on to number 14, which is awards of contract/change orders/bid. The Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex has reviewed the award of contracts, change orders, and bids consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. Could I please have a motion to approve contracts from A through E?
Fantasia, so moved.
May I have a second, please?
Hertzberg, second.
Is there any discussion? Not hearing any. Cherry, would you call the vote, please?
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley?
Yes.
Thank you. Number 15 is financial, the payment of the bills for December 22nd, 2020. Could I please have a motion to approve the bill list?
Fantasia, so moved.
Motion.
Thank you, Dawn. A second, please.
Second, Yardley.
Thank you, Herb. Is there any discussion on the bill list? Not hearing any. Cherry, a roll call, please.
Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo?
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley?
Yes.
Okay, number 16, personnel has been amended and it's going to be moved to after the executive session. So now we're on number 17, and I'm going to ask our administrator, Greg Potts, to give us a report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director. I'd like to just take this opportunity to thank the board for my reappointment, but not only my reappointment, but also the reappointment of the county senior management team. Your support means a tremendous amount, and I know that the board, having considered favorably these reappointments, provides a level of stability to this organization that is extremely important, particularly in these very difficult times. So again, thank you very much. I'm also very pleased to have had the board consider the agreements with both Vault Medical Services and with Zufall Health Clinic. As Freeholder Fasano had pointed out, these are two very critical components to the county's approved testing plan, and this will allow us to build upon the at-home testing currently available through the county's website. So I'm very pleased that we've been able to have these authorized, and there will be more information made available on the county's website as we finish implementing these various services. it is anticipated that Zufall will begin its testing at 3 different locations, one at the fairgrounds, one in Newton, and another location in Sparta, shortly after the first of the year. Again, the details will be posted to the county's website, as well as getting some additional advertising out so that people are aware how to access those testing services. And that concludes my report. Thank you very much, and wishing everybody a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, and a healthy New Year.
Thank you very much. Is there any unfinished business that the board would like to speak about? Okay, number 20, any new business that you would like to bring to the board? Okay, not hearing any, we can move to 21, which is the last public session from the floor. This public session is open for any comments. And before we open this session, we ask that callers wanting to make a comment first state their name and municipality. We will make a list and then call according to the list. So is there anyone on our conference call from the public that would like to make a comment? Would you please just state your name and municipality?
Excuse me, Director, could we please have a motion to open the public session?
Oh, thank you. Could please have a motion to open the public session?
So moved, Hertzberg.
Second. Is there a second from the board? Okay, thank you. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Public floor is open. If anyone would like to speak, please say your name and municipality. Okay, not hearing anyone, I'm going to bring it back to the board. Could I please have a motion to close the public comment period?
I make the motion, York.
And a second, please. Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. 22 reminders. Please check the county's website at www.sussex.nj.us for meeting schedules. Now we're going to go into executive session. Terry, would you please read that for us?
Yes, I will. All right. This is a long agenda. Too many pages. Okay. Whereas the subject matter about to be discussed may be excluded from the public portion of the meeting by resolution, the Board of Chosen Freeholders, as an exception to the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12B, and whereas it appears necessary for the Board of Chosen Freeholders to discuss such matters in executive session, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex, in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12B and NJSA 10:4-13, that the Board at this time enter into an executive session from which the public shall be excluded, and be it further resolved that the general nature of the subject to be discussed relates to the following items authorized by NJSA 10:4-12B as designated. Number 7, matters relating to litigation, negotiations, and the attorney-client privilege, PBA 378 corrections, PBA 138 prosecutor, PBA 138 sheriff, and number 8, matters relating to employment relationships, various appointments. Be it further resolved that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, or provided by law that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. And be it further resolved that upon completion of the business for which the Board has entered into the executive session, the Board shall reconvene and resume its meeting open to the public. Be it further resolved that the Board expects to take formal action after returning from the executive session. I just need now a motion.
So moved, Hertzberg.
Thank you. Second, please.
Fantasia, second.
Okay, that was the motion to adopt the executive session resolution and enter into executive session. Terry, I'm just looking at this. Do I need 2 motions? The next one to adjourn? Oh, did I see adjourn? I'm sorry. Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Okay.
Aye.
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 Thank you. much. I would just like to tell everyone before we go into executive session, I would like to thank whoever is still on our phone for calling in. And on behalf of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, I would like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, a very healthy and a very happy New Year. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, Director, could you give the callers who wish to remain on the line, or when you resume, an estimate as to how long executive session might be?
Half hour, Greg?
Yeah, between
45 minutes.
I think I would say between 20 and 30 minutes.
20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so someone wants to stay on the line, so we will come back and we will have a little business at the end for personnel. You can stay on the line. We hope to be back by about 30 minutes the latest.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, with that, we are going to go into executive session. So thank you again for everyone that's called in. And if you're on the line, we'll see you in about 30 minutes.
The recording resumes after executive session.
Good morning. This is Terry Lyons, the clerk to the Board of Chosen Freeholders. We have just adjourned from executive session, and we are resuming our meeting of December 22nd, which commenced at 9 a.m. This is via an Uber conference call. I would just ask before we start if the members of the governing body could please identify themselves for the attendance.
Hertzberg is here.
Okay, Josh, you're there. Dawn, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Herb? Not yet. Anthony?
Yes.
Okay. Herb, are you there? All right, let's wait for Herb. We actually have to vote again to
I'm here. It's Herb.
Record. Oh, thank you. I need to take another vote to put it on the record. So like I please have a motion to adjourn our executive meeting and move back into the general meeting.
So moved, Hertzberg.
Second, please. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, thank you very much. So we're back into the regular meeting.
And Sylvia, if you don't mind, I'd just like to make some comments. I had infused the appointments with the personnel agenda, and there were some comments I wanted to make about the appointments, and I wanted to make sure I made them on the record, if that's okay.
Okay. Sure, absolutely. Go right ahead.
So, one of the things that I know we've talked about is having some consistency, not only in leadership on the board, but leadership within the county. Leadership and focus. We want the county to continue to gain ground instead of, what had been happening in the past, which was barely treading water. Two people I want to point out, just because I worked very closely with them on a lot of the financial stuff, was Greg Poff and Elke Yetter, and they have demonstrated not only competency, which is an extreme understatement, but consistency in the way they administer the budget. I worked closely with them to develop the county's financial policies. But they do the hard work of making policy reality. Freeholders plot the course, but it's senior staff that actually keeps the ship following that course. We've had a lot of turnover in the county management positions, a few years back. Everybody knows that, there was people leaving left and right, and, that lack of structure and consistency was noticed and it was felt, from the townships to the residents to the poor county employees who had to deal with it. The last few years, consistency has helped us gain ground and implement conservative culture change. I've seen the positive changes in the direction of our county. We are not where we want to be, but we are absolutely headed in the right direction. Today we appointed our administrator, and I think this was a good decision. Looking through some of the accomplishments that we've had over the last couple of years, that some of which can be directly attributed to Administrator Poff, generating more than $175,000 annually through shared services is a big deal for our county budget. Achieving liability and workers' compensation insurance, savings for $320,000 annually. Contributed, him and Elka and our auditors contributed greatly to the plans that we are now following that are helping our county get into the financial position we want to be, the debt management, the financial policies, lowering the interest rates where we could. But one of the big ones was preserving the level of health benefits while lowering the premiums and saving the county $1 million annually. All this stuff, and it wasn't all puppy dogs and ice cream. We've had our disagreements, but personally, I want the guy who is going to tell us when he thinks we're wrong or that we're misstepping because he's the professional and we're thinking about things in a different way. But at the end of the day, that we set the culture and the county follows the plan. And I just want to say I think it's a good move, and I think the county is going to see, benefits from putting the right people in the right places. So that's really what I just wanted to put on the record. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Josh. Is there anyone else that would like to say anything? Okay, I share exactly how you feel. I think our senior management team is excellent. They brought professionalism and great ideas to the county. Very easy to talk to, always available, open to new ideas, and I think they have done a wonderful job for us. I'm very happy that it was an unanimous vote to keep everything in place and bring stability back to the county, which we've needed very badly. So if there's no discussion, is there any discussion on the personnel agenda as a whole? Okay, not hearing any then, can I please have a motion to approve the personnel agenda of December 22nd, 2020?
Fantasia, so moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Okay, is there any discussion? Not hearing any. Terry, can I please have a
I'm sorry. Who made the second? I couldn't hear that.
Dawn made the first. Who made the second motion? No one. Was there a second motion?
And where does this go?
Hertzberg, second.
Darling.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there's no discussion, so Terry, can I have a roll call, please?
Yes. Freeholder Fantasia?
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano?
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo?
Yes.
And Freeholder Yardley?
Yes.
Okay, then we've concluded our meeting. Can I please have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Hertzberg.
Fantasia, second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, and being that we won't see each other, I want to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas. And I'll be in touch with you as we move forward to help you reorganize the meeting, Dawn, so we can get all that done. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Merry Christmas, guys, and good luck with reorg.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.